Seniors, eat these 4 yogurts to calm arthritis and joint pain fast. Doctor approved. If you're over 60 and still reaching for pills, instead of a spoon, you may be missing nature's most overlooked anti-inflammatory because while arthritis pain is loud, the answer has been whispering all along. And it doesn't come from a capsule, a commercial, or another high-priced prescription. It comes from the fridge, and what's inside it might just change the way you walk, move, and sleep starting today. This isn't just about yogurt, it's about rewriting everything we've been told about inflammation, mobility, and how aging has to feel. Because the truth is, we've been trained to treat pain with force. We numb it, suppress it, mask it. But what if the real relief wasn't about fighting inflammation? What if it was about feeding the body what it's been starving for? You're about to discover 4 yogurts. Yes, yogurts that are backed by science to ease inflammation, soothe stiff joints, and nourish your gut in ways that directly calm arthritis. And one of them? It's being studied as a food-based alternative to NSAIDs like ibuprofen. That's how powerful its nutrient profile is. But chances are, no one told you about it. Not your doctor, not your dietitian, not the commercials telling you to ask your physician if this medication is right for you. Because food can't be patented, and food that heals, it doesn't need a marketing team, it needs a moment. This is that moment. The fridge may look like a simple box, but for those dealing with arthritis, it can be the first aid kit no one talks about. Let's be clear, this isn't woo-woo wellness. This is fermentation, bioavailable probiotics, immune support, and joint calming compounds delivered with a spoon, not a side effect warning. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the 4 specific yogurts that could restore the flexibility in your fingers, reduce the burning in your knees, and bring back that long-lost lightness in your walk. And if you're thinking, yogurt makes my joints worse, you're not wrong, because most yogurt is junk, full of added sugar, artificial flavors, and inflammatory fillers. We're going to show you which ones are medicine and which ones are masked desserts pretending to be healthy. So stay with me, because this isn't a grocery list. This is a blueprint for better mornings, a future where you tie your shoes without a wince, where stairs don't mean strategizing, where the ache in your hands doesn't end your hobbies, it revives them. Because arthritis may be common after 60, but chronic pain is not a requirement for aging. And these 4 yogurts? They're more than breakfast. They're a decision, a quiet, consistent decision to feed your body what it's really asking for. If pills numb your pain, yogurt can speak to it, and we're just getting started. Later, you'll meet a woman whose arthritis had her canceling plans and quitting her morning walks. Until a simple change in her refrigerator shifted everything. She didn't start with a treatment plan. She started with a spoon. So don't pause here. The relief begins in the very next minute. Ready? She gripped the cap with both hands. Not a jar of pain pills, not a heavy dumbbell, just her arthritis cream. And it hurt. Her fingers had become stiff little reminders that something inside her was changing, and not in a direction she liked. Every twist, every squeeze, every zip, every button was an exercise in frustration. She was 64. She didn't want a miracle. She just wanted to be able to open a tube of cream without tears. She'd tried the turmeric capsules, the stretching routines, even gave up tomatoes because her neighbors swore they were the culprit. Still, every morning, her hands felt like rusted hinges. That was the moment. Not the worst pain, but the final straw. And then came the quiet shift. It didn't come in the form of a prescription. It didn't involve fasting, injections, or yet another doctor's appointment that ended in, "That's just aging." It came in a grocery bag. Her daughter had been visiting, and she noticed the way her mom winced when picking up the coffee pot, the way she avoided the garden, once her favorite place. So she handed her something most people wouldn't even think twice about, a small container, plain, no bright label. Try eating this 1 yogurt every morning. Just give it 10 days. There was no grand promise, no health claim stamped on the lid, just a spoon, a new habit, a tiny, quiet rebellion against the pain she had been told to learn to live with. That was day one. By day three, her gut felt calmer, less bloating, less brain fog. By day six, she noticed she had slept through the night for the first time in weeks. No throbbing, no tossing. And by day 10, she bent down to tie her walking shoes. Without hesitation, without bracing for pain, no cream, no pills, just a dairy aisle decision that began rewiring her inflammation from the inside out. She didn't start with a prescription, she started with a spoon. This isn't fiction. This is fermented food science. Because when you feed your gut the right strains of probiotics, strains shown in clinical studies to reduce inflammation, you're not just aiding digestion, you're calming the immune system itself. You're soothing the joint-stiffening storms that start deep in your microbiome. And for this woman, that yogurt became more than breakfast. It became proof that healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it starts in silence, at a table, with a spoon. So if you're still watching, know this. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you is ready. Not for a gimmick, not for another promise that breaks. You're ready for something quiet, consistent, real. And the first of the 4 doctor-approved yogurts we'll reveal? It's up next. And it's the one being studied as a possible alternative to anti-inflammatory drugs. That's how deep its effects go. Get ready, because the next minute may change what's in your fridge and what's possible for your joints. Some wounds don't bleed. They swell. It starts slow. A little stiffness in the morning. You brush it off. Just slept funny, you tell yourself. But then the swelling doesn't go down. The stairs feel longer. The shampoo bottle, harder to open. Even the silverware seems heavier some days. And when you mention it to someone, they smile softly and say, that's just getting older. But inside, it doesn't feel like aging. It feels like betrayal. Like your own body, once so strong, so reliable, is turning against you. She remembers how it felt to walk the grocery aisles without scanning the shelves for somewhere to lean. How her hands used to dance through her garden soil, not tremble from the grip of a small trowel. How she used to wake up with energy, not spend the first hour trying to thaw her joints back to life. It's not just pain, it's the loneliness of it, the quiet resignation that creeps in when no one seems to understand. How exhausting it is to negotiate with your body every morning. You can have the knees today, she'd joke, but leave me my hands. And when nothing works, when the creams stop helping, the pills start causing more issues than they solve, and every suggestion sounds like noise. The hopelessness is louder than the pain. You don't just lose strength, you lose your spark. The worst part, you start accepting it, not because you want to, but because no one has given you a different path until now. This chapter isn't about a cure. It's about a crack in the wall of resignation. It's about asking, what if? The answer isn't a prescription pad, but a probiotic, a nutrient-dense spoonful of healing. What if inflammation isn't something to suppress, but something to soothe? Gently, daily, deliciously. Relief. No side effects. No pain. Just nourishment. That's the promise. And for thousands, just like her, it's becoming the reality. What she really needed wasn't another treatment. It was a reason to believe her body could still feel good again. So if you've ever felt like you were fading, this isn't the end. It's a new beginning. And it starts with understanding how something as simple as the right yogurt can begin calming the chaos from the inside out. Because sometimes the most powerful act of healing is believing your body still knows how to. She stood in the dairy aisle. Bright colors, buzzwords, gut healthy, low fat, for strong bones. But when she flipped over the label on her favorite anti-inflammatory yogurt, her stomach dropped. 17 grams of sugar, artificial flavors, skim milk reconstituted from powder, a list of preservatives she could barely pronounce. This wasn't medicine. This was dessert in disguise. And no one had told her. No one told her that most of the yogurts marketed to support health after 60 were making things worse. feeding the fire of inflammation, worsening insulin spikes, disrupting gut health, the very thing arthritis is linked to. They warned her about red meat. They scolded her for skipping pills. But not once, did her doctor mention that what she put on her spoon every morning could be the difference between limping and living. She felt betrayed, like she had trusted all the wrong things, spent years avoiding dairy, years thinking the fridge was the enemy, while her real enemy was the silence surrounding what was actually in it. It wasn't just about what was missing from her treatments, it was about what was hiding in plain sight. Right there, chilling on the middle shelf. Yogurt could heal, but only if it was the right kind, only if it was full-fat, grass-fed, unflavored, and alive, not pasteurized to death, not whipped with sugar and chemicals to appeal to the sweet tooth of a generation hooked on convenience. She had been eating the illusion of health, not the substance. And that realization, that's when something shifted. Anger turned into awareness. Confusion melted into clarity. This wasn't about removing yogurt. It was about reclaiming it, choosing the kind that calms inflammation, supports digestion, and feeds the body with live bacteria that naturally soothe pain. A mini awakening. It wasn't about avoiding dairy. It was about choosing the right kind. Her body didn't need more suppression. It needed more support. Not from a new pill, not from a new protocol, but from something so old. It had been sitting in ancient cultures for centuries. Fermented milk, the kind that heals from the inside out. She was never taught this in her arthritis support group. It wasn't mentioned on the pamphlets from the hospital. And yet now, with just 10 days of switching her yogurt, her knees creaked less, her mornings stiffened less, and her sense of hope glowed more. They told her to avoid the fridge. They never told her it could be her pharmacy. It made her wonder, what else have we been told to fear that could actually help us feel free? The betrayal became her teacher, the disillusionment, her doorway. She didn't need to be rescued. She needed to be reminded. And if you're here still listening, maybe you're not looking for more advice. Maybe you're looking for a small door, a crack of truth, a first step back into your body. So let's take it together, because the yogurt you choose tomorrow morning could start the change your knees, hands, and heart have been waiting for. That's coming next. But now, you know the truth. You've been sold silence, and silence ends here. She didn't need another round of injections or another warning about cartilage loss. What she needed was a refrigerator revelation. Because deep in the aisles of the grocery store, past the glittery labels and misleading promises, were four silent warriors hiding in plain sight. The first was Skyr, plain, thick, Icelandic Skyr. It didn't beg for attention. It didn't need flashy fruit or sugar swirls. It was just pure. With protein levels higher than most yogurts and virtually no added sugar, it quietly did what pain relievers couldn't. Lowered systemic inflammation. It's like a protein pillow for your joints, she said, smiling on day 3, when her knees felt just a little less tight getting out of bed. Day 5 was when the goat milk yogurt kicked in, gentle on the belly, packed with A2 protein that didn't trigger bloating like cow's milk sometimes did. And unlike the cream she had once massaged into her hands every morning, this yogurt was working from the inside out. It's not just yogurt, she said to her neighbor, who had noticed her hands weren't as red. It's joint insurance, from nature's second mother. Then came the kefir, slightly tart, drinkable, and teeming with billions of live probiotics. She had no idea what the gut-joint axis was until her stomach stopped hurting every evening, and she stopped waking up feeling puffy. It's a microscopic army fighting silent inflammation. Her doctor explained when she called to ask why her energy felt steadier. By day 7, her digestion had improved, and even her mood seemed lighter. But the real shift came with a simple DIY creation: Greek yogurt blended with a teaspoon of turmeric and a pinch of black pepper. The curcumin in turmeric is notoriously hard to absorb, but pair it with pepper and the creamy fat of yogurt, and it becomes a powerful anti-inflammatory trio. It was like creamy armor for my aching joints, she wrote in her journal that night. Her shoulders didn't burn the same way they used to after folding laundry. Even getting dressed in the morning no longer felt like a slow, careful battle. By day 10, she noticed more than just less pain. Her mornings weren't filled with hesitation. Her walks weren't dictated by swelling. Her spoon had become her strength. This wasn't about dairy or flavor or fads. This was about reclaiming power through nourishment. This was about learning that sometimes the smallest rituals, the ones you can repeat every morning without fail, become the roots of the biggest changes. And the best part, it was all in her fridge. Her spoon became her strength. So before you reach for another bottle or another cream, ask yourself, what if your relief didn't have to come with a side effect? What if it came with a side of hope instead? Stick with us because up next, we'll walk you through exactly how to build your own arthritis-calming yogurt routine, down to the serving size and timing, because your spoon could be your next prescription, and this time it starts with belief. If there was ever a time to start small and feel big, it's now. One spoon, one swap, 1 week, you've come this far. You've learned that arthritis relief may not live in a bottle on the pharmacy shelf, but in a creamy, probiotic-filled container in your fridge. So let's move from knowing to doing. We call it the Joint Spoon Challenge, and it's simple, powerful, and completely in your hands. Step 1, pick your yogurt. Choose from one of the 4 we revealed in the last chapter. Skyr, goat milk yogurt, kefir, or the turmeric-infused Greek combo, just one. Let your body get familiar with it. Step 2, commit to 7 days. Each morning, scoop 1 serving into a bowl. Don't mix it with sugar or fruit syrup. Let the yogurt do what it was designed to do. Calm inflammation, repair the gut lining, and ease the autoimmune chaos that often hides behind joint pain. Step 3, measure nothing except how you feel. Write down 3 things each morning: your energy, your stiffness, and your sleep quality from the night before. That's it. On day 2, maybe you wake up with a little less swelling in your hands. By day 5, your knees feel different when you stand. By day 7, maybe the stairs don't win anymore. This is how freedom starts, quietly, in bowls and spoons, in choosing something that loves you back. You don't need a prescription for this. You need belief, because this isn't about food. It's about the choice to test your body's capacity for healing. And here's a secret. Your body wants to heal. It's not working against you. It's not betraying you. It's responding to the inputs you give it. For years, you may have been unknowingly feeding the fire of inflammation. Now, you're handing your body a bucket of water in yogurt form. And for those who say, it's too late for me, let me say this. The body doesn't retire from healing. It just needs a signal. And one of the clearest signals it recognizes? Live, probiotic-rich, nutrient-dense foods that support both digestion and immunity. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It helps more seniors like you discover life-changing health tips, and it helps us keep creating them for you every day. But most importantly, visit us at thegoldenyearsrx.com. That's THEGOLDENYEARSRX.com to join our free community of seniors who want to stay strong, independent, and full of life. Invite someone into the journey. Send them this video. Start the Joint Spoon Challenge together. Get a check-in, a pact, a 7-day experiment in self-respect. This is not about yogurt. Not really. This is about what happens when you stop outsourcing your health to medications and start insourcing wisdom from your ancestors, who used food as medicine long before it became a marketing slogan. Track your pain, track your power, and if it works, keep going. Rotate between the 4 yogurts. Your gut will thank you, your joints will sing, your mornings will begin differently, because the transformation from frozen by pain to freedom through food is not a miracle, it's a meal. Her spoon became her strength. Let it become yours too. You are 1 week away from a different story. Take the spoon, take the step, and we'll walk with you. She didn't walk into a gym. She didn't sign up for a subscription box. She didn't even change her medication. All she did was say yes to herself. For a year, she carried her pain like a silent badge. Grocery bags in one hand, discomfort in the other. A smile on her face, but swelling in her knees. And every time someone asked how she was doing, she'd say, "Fine, just fine." But she wasn't. Then came the shift, a tiny spoon, a daily ritual, and a decision to believe that healing didn't need to be loud, expensive, or led by someone in a white coat. That's when she joined something different, not a gym or a program, but herself. It started with one yogurt, then another, then a community of people who didn't look at her as broken, but as rebuilding. And suddenly, arthritis wasn't the sentence. It was the start of a new language, one that her body, her gut, and her joints could finally understand. This is where the real transformation begins. From chronic sufferer to curious self-healer, from silently hurting to publicly thriving, from watching life through the window to walking out the door. And here's the truth. She didn't do it alone. None of us should. That's why we built this community. Thousands of others over 60 are walking the same road, reclaiming mobility, rediscovering joy, learning how food, not fear, can be the foundation of the next chapter. Inside, you'll find healing guides, day-by-day plans, doctor-reviewed nutrition tips, daily support from people who care deeply because they're living it too. So if your spoon has become your strength, if your fridge now feels like your pharmacy, if your mornings feel a little easier and your nights a little more restful, then join us. Join our free community of self-healers and food explorers because together we're rewriting what aging looks like. Not in hospitals, not in hushed complaints, but in confidence, clarity, and connection. Because healing isn't just personal, it's communal. And you're not just watching this video, you're standing at the edge of your next chapter. So click the link. Join us today for free, and let's make your next meal a move toward mobility. You're not too late. You're right on time. If this video gave you even one moment of hope, just one breath of relief where you thought, maybe I can turn this around, then don't let this be the last step. Subscribe, because what we started together here is only the beginning. You didn't just learn about yogurt. You learned that food can be powerful, that what we eat doesn't just fill our stomachs, it feeds our inflammation or our healing. It either stiffens us or sets us free. And in a world that pushes pills before it ever mentions a spoon, it takes courage to go back to basics, to step into your kitchen instead of the pharmacy, to believe that your body might be wiser and more resilient than you were told. So if that idea sparks something in you, if your curiosity is alive again, I invite you to press that red button and subscribe right now. Because in our next video, we're pulling back the curtain on a hidden trap. 3 drinks that are marketed as healthy, but quietly age your joints, clog your liver, and chip away at your vitality after 60. And don't worry, we'll show you exactly what to drink instead to stay sharp, mobile, and strong. Because food isn't just about flavor, it's about function. It's about reclaiming energy where it was leaking, restoring mobility where it was disappearing, and rebuilding confidence in your body, sip by sip, spoon by spoon. And it all begins with the next video. So go ahead, subscribe now. Make this moment matter. Not because it's trending, not because everyone else is doing it, but because you are ready to take the reins on your health without shame, without noise, without another dead-end promise. Let's keep walking this healing road together. You, me, and thousands of others who now know. Longevity isn't built in clinics, it's built in kitchens. You didn't just watch this, you felt this, because something deep inside you recognized the truth, before your brain even caught up. That whisper inside you, the one that said, there has to be another way, just got its proof. This wasn't just a video about yogurt, it was a video about you, your power, your comeback. You didn't just hear new information, you reclaimed your role in your healing. You didn't just learn what to eat, you remembered what it feels like to believe again. To believe that a stiff joint isn't the end of the road, but the beginning of a new one. To believe that energy doesn't have to fade, it can return, and that pain doesn't have to be permanent, it can pass. Because healing doesn't always come with fanfare or flashing lights. Sometimes it starts with a spoon. Sometimes it starts with one quiet decision to do something different, while everyone else is still doing the same. So let this moment land. This isn't just the end of a video, it's the beginning of a new relationship with your body, your health, and your hope. You are not frozen anymore. You are not forgotten. You are not falling behind. You are awakening, and the world will try to convince you that you need more products, more pills, more promises to feel better, but not you, not anymore. Now you know, relief doesn't always come with a label. Sometimes it comes in a bowl, because while they were telling you to avoid dairy, they never told you to look in the fridge for your pharmacy. And now your kitchen isn't just a room. It's a toolbox, a sanctuary, a second chance. Your spoon is no longer an afterthought. It's your sword. No more withdrawal, no more masks, only nourishment. No more passive pain, only practiced power. And when people ask what changed, you won't say, I started a diet. You'll say, I stopped waiting to feel good. I started choosing it. You didn't just eat yogurt, you unlearned your limits. And the next time someone tells you it's just age, you'll smile quietly to yourself because now you know better, now you feel better, and now you are better. This is the shift they hope you never make, but you just did. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It helps more seniors like you discover life-changing health tips, and it helps us keep creating them for you every day. But most importantly, visit us at thegoldenyearsrx.com. That's THEGOLDENYEARSRX.com to join our free community of seniors who want to stay strong, independent, and full of life. And the next video, it's waiting with the next piece of the map. You're not just watching anymore, you're becoming. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.